Ladies and gentlemen, we do thank you very much for your attention, and now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the
Welcome to our top travel destinations. I am your host, Kevin Flanagan. I have been editor of the weekly travel news column in the Sunday Independent and the Fine Wine and Food Guide, and I am here to use my decades of experience to help you know exactly where to stay, eat, drink, shop, and explore when visiting the world's top travel destinations. So sit back and enjoy the wonders of travel as we take off on our magical journey together. Welcome to Kevin's Top Travel Destination. This episode, I'm asking the question, why visit the mountains for a summer vacation? Now, most people, as I know, think of the Alps in particular, but you could take any mountain range across the world, and they would say, well, that's great for skiing, great for winter sports, so I wouldn't be seen dead during the summer. I would like to go for sand and sea. Well, I would like to propose a different answer to that question. Because if you do go to the Alps and you do go to the mountains this summer, you will find heat. You will find sunshine, you will find very, very good weather, and you will find an absolute paradise of nature and activities that will suit every single member of the family from 2 to 72 and beyond. This is an incredible opportunity to have a summer holiday with a difference. I'm going to pick one particular place that I had the pleasure of visiting, Grunewald. This is in Switzerland. It's in the canton of Bern, and it is one of the first great alpine villages. Why? Because it is situated at the foot of the Eiger, one of the great terrifying mountains in the Swiss Alps, which has really been burnt into the imagination of people who have fallen in love with climbing and hiking. It has offered one of the great difficulties, the north face of the Eiger. It took centuries before it was finally conquered because it's a sheer slab of ice, and many people have died, and people continue to die as they try to climb the North Face. But things have changed since the 1860s, really, when the railway first made this incredible town, or village if you like, open to people from around Switzerland, and it opened it up to people who were traveling from around the world, and soon they were flocking. There were 10 hotels after the resort was opened in 1888. The rail track really made all the difference, and you can get this fantastic train. It's on one of those special tracks that it goes up and it disgorges thousands of holiday makers. In the winter, it's skiers. In the summer, everybody's decked out in their best summer finery because the weather is perfect. And then you can take one of the hotels and you can go. And we had 3 days up there. And I'm just going to share some of the wonders that will happen to you if you go on an alpine holiday. The first thing is that you will be in the glory of the mountains. There is something extraordinary about visiting mountains in winter when they're covered in snow, but in summer, those slopes which you'd ski down are suddenly turned into these beautiful green pastures filled with sheep and cattle and all different sorts of fauna and flora and bees and these extraordinary species that only live at these heights. You can trek, you can walk, you can stay up in the mountains at the little huts and the little resorts. There is no end to the things that you can do there. For example, on one of the nights we were taken up to this very wonderful restaurant which sits halfway up the mountain facing the Eiger, and there we had a 3-course meal. The restaurateur showed me the roof. he showed me how the roof was specially reinforced to resist the avalanches that were quite common. I asked the chef who owned it, and he said they have avalanches, and this protects the people who are sleeping there and the restaurant itself. And I said to him, well, what happens if you're serving and the avalanche comes? He said, well, we have a warning, and we usually jump on our skis and ski down as fast as we can for our lives. We don't want to be trapped underneath, mountains of snow. Well, I was just imagine that. You're preparing your guests for a meal and you'll have to get out, jump on your skis, hope you don't fall, and ski down to safety. Let the avalanche pass and come back up when it's passed over and dig themselves back in. That just goes to show the true monumentality. That is the alpine life. But of course, once you're up these peaks during the summer months, there is no snow. The snow is only confined to the top peaks, and because of global warming, even the glaciers are retreating now, and there's less snow. So you have these extraordinary, beautiful green meadows filled with the different cows and the different sheep, the different goats. You'll have all the different sorts of alpine bees and butterflies. And I can remember sitting there, sipping my beautiful Swiss wine and looking up at the Eiger, and the moon was just to the left, and the stars were coming up, and this pinnacle etched against the black, against the bluer sky, the night sky with the moon and the stars and the birds of prey flying high, and the wind just tickling your ear, and the smell of the clear air, and the taste of the wine. Well, what an extraordinary experience that was. But this is just one of the many experiences you'll get if you go on a summer holiday in the Alps. The other thing is all the gondolas that take skiers up during the winter months are open during the summer months. So you'll be able to go up, you'll be able to enjoy alpine food and wine at the various little restaurants that are up on the mountains. And then you'll be able to come down by numerous ways. So if you're a family, you could hike down. You could take a scooter and use one of the paths. You could take a little toboggan. You could take a free-legged go-kart. They have little off-dirt tracks you can go down. There's bikes, there's scooters, and then you have these various zip lines. They're all extremely safe. They give you an incredible sense of freedom as you fly down from one mountain peak down to the lower meadows where you're safely taken off your zip, and you can then take a scooter. You could then take a bike. You could then take Shank's pony to just get you down into the village again, where it all starts off, and you grab your gondola and you go up maybe to a different peak. You can also take your time to have a drink and look at the beautiful alpine scenery, have something to eat, really enjoy it. And as again I say, you'll need your sun cream, because up there the weather is usually fine. You're quite often above the cloud level. You're guaranteed great weather, and you're guaranteed every sort of activity. Now, when it comes down to the actual alpine resort itself, in this case Grunewald, you will have all sorts of hotels. You will have all sorts of festivals where you'll have music and where you will be able to enjoy the local cuisine, the local food, the local drink. The people are very welcoming, even though the Swiss have a reputation for not being welcoming. I find that not to be the case. You'll be able to buy every sort of leather good, every sort of gift for the folk back home. You'll be able to buy liqueurs, you'll be able to buy alpine drinks, you'll be able to buy the different cheeses and the different cured meats. There is no end to this. And then, of course, you can go over to the Eiger. There is the actual railway runs up, halfway up, you can get off. There are viewing stations. You'll have seen these on things like Mission Impossible. You'll have seen them on certain of the James Bond movies, which have used the Grunewald area and the extraordinary, incredible visions that you see as you turn a corner, you swivel your head. You'll have one mountain peak after another emerging from the clouds or from the haze. You'll turn a corner and there's another beautiful pass below you with waterfalls, and the extraordinary beauty of the area is absolutely fantastic. And then if you go into the village itself, you've got the Dorfstrasse, where the local economy really depends on tourism. tourisms. You'll be able to buy there, shop there, eat there, drink there, stay there if you so wish. Different from the very basic hotel to 5-star. And some very, very important people have lived there. It's become a place where the money'd come. You had Richard Wagner, of course, but then you have the movie directors, film stars, you'll have Formula One drivers. They all have their little chateaus up there, and it's all very discreet, and it's all very Swiss, and it's all very moneyed. So I think an incredible sort of James Bond experience for the family. You'll be able to breathe in the mountain air. You'll be able to feel that beautiful, clear, crisp sun on your face. You'll be able to enjoy the great weather. You'll be able to eat and drink the local, authentic food and wine. And you'll be able to do every activity under the sun, or just sit in your hotel, in the spa, enjoying what is quite a unique experience. So forget about the sun and sandals. Just forget about all of that. You don't need sand. A mountain retreat for your summer holidays will give you something which I think will tick every conceivable box, whatever your age, condition, or position in life. What are you waiting for? Book your summer mountain holiday right now and enjoy a unique experience.